This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Okay, Megs, what do you think? Do you think I should do the podcast? It's giving Janine, but I can do it. My energy is okay. Hold on. I can sort of, well, I'm talking on the podcast. Oh boy. I'm talking on the podcast. I thought it was, I was just going to do this as a joke because I thought actually it was better than this. I thought it actually,
Welcome to Text Me Back, the only podcast with two hosts with normal sounding voices. I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays.
And I'm Lindy West. And that's right, Megs. And I'm not a frog. I'm a woman.
I am not an ancient toad.
No.
No, sir. Oh, Michigan J Frog, no.
I am a 100% modern toad.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You sound like wind whistling through some bones.
Did you prep those? Ancient toad? And those did you come with those in your pocket?
Ancient Toad, I did say to Allie, producer Allie, in the email because I was I can't record this week because Lindy is dying. Oh, disgusting.
Sorry.
We need to wrap this up. Enough with the banter. Oh, God.
No, keep going. It's so funny.
But the wind whistling through the bones, that was right off the rip.
That's really good. You should do this podcast alone.
Oh, my God. The solo comedy podcast. I'm going to do like Gabby Windy does. I'm just gonna be like, you'll never guess what I just thought of. It was wind whistling through a skeleton. And it's gonna go viral.
Yes, do it. But yeah,
beloved.
As you can probably hear, something's wrong with me. It's called I got a cold less than a week ago, but like it's currently Monday. I received this cold Tuesday night. I started to notice a little. I woke up from a nap and I was like, and first of all, Roya was like, I said, I took a nap. She said, yeah, I heard. Because apparently I was snoring like
crank that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I was up in my dusty office. Like I have not dusted this room lately. And I was all curled up on my tiny couch. I'm sure I was just in a bad position having allergies.
Sure. No, yeah.
No.
Sure, man.
Then the next morning I woke up, I said, oh no. Oh, I got bad.
And we normally record on Thursdays. And so Lindy was like, could we try tomorrow, Friday? And I was like, yeah, of course. Then I, for the first time in such a long time, completely forgot we were doing that. And I went to the movies. I got out of the movie at like 2:45 with a text message from Lindy being like, I don't think I can do this today. And I was like, do what? What is she talking about? And I was like, oh no, it's fine. No, you're fine. No, it's good. And this has nothing to do with the fact that I'm in Hyattsville, Maryland. Don't worry about it.
No, I love it. I love it when you fuck stuff up. As America's Next Top #1 podcast,
fuck up.
Oh, nothing makes me happier than when Megs forgets something. And I mean, like, I will never be mad at you, just so you know.
I knew you wouldn't care, but I just was like, oh God, it's been probably 7 years since I just forgot that something was happening. Because I've become a real calendar head.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to stop bantering in just a second here so Lindy can go handle whatever she's got around in there. But
can I just say that I do feel like I don't remember anything from before COVID, but I don't think I used to have a cold for 7 to 10 days.
No,
it feels like a
to you that feels a little bit more severe than a common cold.
Well, do you think it's okay? Do you think that it's that when you're younger you have a better immune system and that I'm just old? Or thing two, did the colds beef up their power?
To answer that question, I'd like to invite in our special guest, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Hello. Thank you for having me. I didn't even have to change. I didn't even have to change
the voice.
Nope.
And that makes it not offensive.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Activists. No, the real answer is because they are putting fetal remains in vaccines.
Right.
So
right. I should be getting extra powers from the fetal remains. First of all, don't they all believe in adrenochrome or whatever? Why?
I'm not online enough to know what that is.
Oh, well, it's that they think that the Clintons drink the baby's blood to get the adrenochrome.
Isn't that their friends doing that? Aren't they friends with the guy who's getting blood transfusions of his own son's blood so that he never dies? I thought for sure that guy is Maha. Come on.
For sure. You're. But I think Meg's I think that the online ecosystem is not so beautifully ordered as God intended. I think it's a chaos.
That's true. You can't put people into neat categories.
It's not internally consistent. But I just don't understand why I've had this cold for so long. We're going on a week.
I don't know.
And I don't feel any better. I mean, each day is a little different.
Somehow you sound worse. Than 2 days ago. So that's interesting.
Each day is a little different than the day before, where like I'm definitely on a journey. I think right now I'm in my drainage era.
Oh, God.
I'm doing a lot of coughing and a lot of nose blowing.
You know, a wise man once said, "You're especially good at expectorating." Oh, what a gal, Lindy. That's what they say.
That's what they say. You're my little guy.
What is that little guy's name?
LeFou.
I was like, I was going to call him Frodo. Not all little guys are named that.
It's kind of the same as Frodo.
Kind of the same. Okay, no, but for real, you got to go take some vitamin C and get out of here. So let's tell people what we're doing today.
Oh, okay.
I know, even though Lindy announced to the Discord you're not getting a new episode, she lied a little bit, kind of, sort of, depending.
I did a little sneak.
Impish grin alert. We are, just for you people, which is everyone listening, we are releasing an episode that we did just for our Patreon subscribers of our Shrill rewatch series. So we rewatched the whole first season. We're going to start rewatching the second season very soon. Stay tuned. Once I have a date, you can mark your calendars if you're a calendar head. But this was one of our best episodes of the rewatch series because it involves the People's Princess, America's sweetheart, Samantha Irby. And she helped us recap, you guessed it, the pool party episode, which is everybody's, I think, favorite episode. I don't think that's controversial to say.
Nope.
It's mine because I got to be on set when it was filmed. And that was really fun for me personally. So what you're about to hear is our conversation with Sam about episode 4 of season 1 of Shrill, about the pool party. We hope that you love it. It's an edited version. So if you want to hear the whole thing, you better get your tuchus on over to patreon.com/textmebackpod and subscribe. And while I have you, guess what? Audio only versions of the Shrill rewatch and other special bonus material is coming at a new Patreon tier. We are announcing it here right now. It is $12 a month, or roughly 11. Don't make me do math.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, $100 a year or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, $12 a month, but it doesn't have a name yet. So we need your help naming it. What should it be? The Butterscotch Princes? The Snakes of the Week?
Tartar sauce?
I don't know.
Because you're rich?
Because you're rich. Hello. Uncle Pennybags. So let us know. So we're taking solicitations for what we should call this $12 tier. That tier is going to come with audio only version. So it's going to have like a special secret RSS feed, so you can listen to all the bonus content in your whatever app that you use to listen to podcasts, but only for the $12 Richie Riches. If Macaulay Culkin was a Patreon tier. it would be this one.
That's right.
Please enjoy this episode, which is an episode we already did months ago when Lindy sounded normal, featuring our best friend, Samantha Irby. Enjoy.
Find yourself looking for a new job or change in career? Monster.com is here to help. We are not only here to bring you job postings, but also AI interview prep and salary tools, expert career advice, and top-notch resume services. We've got everything you need to land your perfect job fit. Discover the magic of finding the ideal job with Monster.com. Your future starts now. Visit Monster.com today. Your next job opportunity is just a click away.
We want to sell out so bad, and Hollywood is not interested. Not interested. Meanwhile, the Call Her Daddy lady is getting like $125 million. I was like, I'll sell you this podcast for $1 million.
I mean, good for that bitch. I don't know anything. I don't know. I've never listened because I feel like, do you ever like hear or see a thing and you're like, they don't want me to be watching and or listening to this? Like, you know how I feel that way about? Like, I would love to love her, but I put on, like, if I hear Taylor Swift, I'm just like, oh, she doesn't want me.
Okay, no.
It's nothing she said or done. It's just like an old crone feeling. But it's, you know, like, even music that's, like, appropriate. Like, sometimes I'll hear Chapel Roan, I'm like, if she saw me listening to this, she would be like, ew. You know, it's like not about her, it's about me. Yeah. Same thing with Taylor, where it's just
she's holding up a mirror to like your biggest insecurities.
Yeah. I'm like, hey Sabrina, it's me, Sam Espresso. And she's like, I'll kill myself if you tell people publicly that you listen to my music.
If you come to my concert, tour canceled. You know what I mean?
Like, if I go to the concert without a child, they're like, no, not you, bitch.
Not interested.
Anita Baker is down the block. Get out of here.
Maybe. She claimed to be. She might not show up.
Joe Laverne is playing tomorrow. See you then.
not Cheryl Laverne. Okay.
Oh my God.
Speaking of being profoundly alienating, here we are. We are. First, we should offer an apology to the beautiful Patreon subscribing Text Me Backalites who have been waiting with bated breath for the next installation of Too Shrill, Too Furious, Portland Drift. And we're so sorry. We're so sorry for the multi-month wait, but I think you'll see it's worth it because of our special guests that we have here today.
That's a lot to put on me.
It is. Get into it.
You're strong. You're strong enough to lift Sabrina Carpenter over your head and throw her off a cliff.
She's famously short and sweet.
I wouldn't, though. That espresso song is good, but this is just me reckoning with getting old.
Yeah. Okay, but what if she got in between us and the buffet table? Then I
would use her to spear a pig in a blanket and nibble it off her.
A great segue into what we're here to talk about. The seminal fat show, Shrill.
The only fat show.
A show about being fat that doesn't let you forget it.
Fat ladies being fat, talking about fat stuff.
The show that dares to ask, what if a fat woman had clothes perfectly tailored to her body, but she's still sad? That's Trill. No, it's a great show. And Sammy, you are here because you wrote episode 4, the pool party episode, which we are going to discuss. It's the Criterion collection here today.
I'm going to say not just arguably, but definitively known to be the best and most important episode of the TV show.
It's true.
Well, Thank you.
You wrote it.
I did it by myself. No one helped. There's no writer's room. No, I didn't turn it into anyone who fixed it. It was just the network was like, guys, we know a gem when we see it. Let's keep our hands off, as networks notoriously do when they encounter brilliance. They're like, notes. No,
not for this queen.
Okay. So
wait, Lindy, do you remember where I wrote it? This is a horrible test. So Lindy and I were living together during the first writing room of Shrill. It was a joy. Remember when we went to Pasadena to the Cheesecake Factory and it was like, look at Megan's face. It was the greatest.
And then we went to Sephora and I spent $500.
Okay, in your defense, I have two defenses for you. One, first, my friend Jen Romolini is a senior beauty editor for Yahoo. And she put out this newsletter that was like, the only skincare products you need are from Sunday Riley. So, number one,
she's right about
you
that.
spent all that money on Sunday Riley and you were ahead of the curve because this was like a million years ago.
Yeah.
And two,
I'm beauty editor.
Beauty editor Lindy West. And two, when we walked into the beautiful Sephora, there was a stunningly handsome gentleman who was a Sunday Riley representative who enveloped Lindy in his arms. Yeah. And I was like, this bitch is about to buy the whole store.
That's correct.
And she did.
By the way, $500 on Sunday Riley products is like one moisturizer, and like a jade roller, and that's it.
And there was like a sort of like, I don't know, selling sunset, like homosexual god who was giving me custom. I haven't watched Selling Sunset. I just feel like everyone is like a sort of glossy,
plasticized,
and like flawless.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. All of them.
And he was telling me, he was looking at my skin, making me feel special, telling me exactly which molecules I needed. And he gave me the old hard sell. And I had just sold this TV show. I was living in LA. I was at the
dazzled by
Warner Brothers.
Hollywood.
Warner Brothers was paying our rent, I was like, I have $500 and I want to look young. And it worked. And I am young
when he
now.
saw me, he was like, I think they sell dog food next door, and like pushed me.
They sell it outside of the Gerald Levert concert, which is where I think you're headed after this.
Like, oh, you came into the wrong place. The food is over there.
Well, yeah. Do you want to walk us through writing this?
I didn't tell you where I wrote.
No, you didn't. I figured it was just at the Sephora.
I should have. The night before I was due to turn it in, of course I had written not one word. The power at our house went out.
Oh, right. During the heat wave.
Yeah, it was 200 degrees.
It was literally 111 degrees.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, not only can I not deal with this heat, but I need to plug my laptop in. So I went to, oh my God, now I'm going to forget the name of the hotel, but it was a hotel on the Sunset Strip. And I got a room and I sat up like half the night and wrote this script. And like with the fervor of a person who's going to like fail the PSAT or something. And then we get there the next day and no one else's script was done. And it was like, fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I spent so much money on this like shady. No, it was fine. I wanted to be cold. Yeah. But I have not worried about turning in a script since then. I'll tell you that. They just give you an extension. It comes built in.
Yeah, well,
they don't care.
also, you turn it in and then they just delete it. You know, they just replace all the jokes with different jokes, or they just cut everything. And I get it because it has to be 12 minutes long or whatever. But
I learned a lot of lessons on that show.
Yeah, some of which we will not share.
Some of the lessons are unspeakable.
Sam and I had a time. Okay, wait. I want to. Can we go back and recap what happens in the episode? Not that any of us remember, but I think this is the episode where they have to do forced fun at the office.
Yes, so, I remember. Can we go back and say that the reason I took very little notes for this episode is I got to be physically present for the recording of this, for the filming of this episode, and that's how Sam and I first met. And it was so exciting because it was like I get to watch my friend make her little item, which was really exciting. And I got to be an extra. So I got to have like my hair and makeup done and stuff, which was really fun. And the person who directed it was the guy who directed Judas and the Black Messiah. So then when he got like an Oscar nomination, I was like, well, he's like my friend a little bit, if you think about it. He's a little bit my friend.
He wouldn't recognize me if we were in the same room together, but I do know him.
But that is my friend. That's how I felt when Cord Jefferson won an Oscar. I don't know him, but we followed each other on Twitter for forever, and like would like occasionally be like, I love this thing that you wrote.
Jezebel?
Yeah, or like Gawker or something.
He was at Gawker when I was at Jezebel, so I actually do know him.
Yeah. So when he went, I was like, oh my God, that's my friend. I've never met this man. We have exchanged like a single tweet in 2014.
Here's the thing.
That's
Who's
my
gonna
friend.
check?
No one's going to check. Okay. So here's what happens. Shall we talk about what happens in the episode?
Yeah.
It's forced fun. Gabe,
I remember thinking that forced fun was the funniest thing I had ever heard, like as a work concept. Like when Lindy said forced fun, I was like, you really do deserve having this show.
Is that what it was called in real life?
We did not have forced fun at The Stranger. No, it wasn't. The Stranger's not organized enough, but the idea was that they were doing one of those like weight loss incentive programs at the office because
like for the health insurance premiums or something.
Yeah.
Or
so and then they decided to call it forced fun. And so they're all going to go on a bike ride together. And that they feel like we set that up at the beginning. Then I forget. Well, Annie goes home and Fran is
like, I'm going to this amazing fat women's pool party. You should.
No.
Fran doesn't.
That's not what happens. No, I just remembered. Annie found a flyer. She pitches it to Gabe, and he's like, "No, that's stupid."
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, "No, that's stupid." And then someone, probably Amadi or whatever, is like, and
you can do it, girl.
Yeah. And like, to be clear, I love Amadi and I love Ian, and the show criminally withheld anything interesting from that character. That's where
I feel like
on such a journey in our imaginations at the very beginning.
His wife is played by Mary Cherry, and then that kind of just doesn't go anywhere, at least not in season 1.
Okay, I need you to know that
like you can't just have her show up on set and then be like, "Oh, catch you later."
The first time, what's her real name? Leslie Grossman came into the writer's room. I was like, Mary Cherry!
I remember.
I just kept saying Mary Cherry because I couldn't believe it. It's like the biggest star I had ever seen.
I know, you can't just sneak Leslie Grossman on people like that.
So she is, Allie, the showrunner, Leslie Grossman is her best friend, like lifelong best friend. And so I already knew that. And I had already had my Mary Cherry moment like a year earlier. And then I remember so vividly her walking into the writer's room and Sam truly like a cartoon character, like jaw on the floor, and then
eyes popping out of your skull.
And then in my recollection, and this might be wrong because this doesn't sound like you, but in my memory, you kind of played it cool until she was gone, and then you like screamed at Allie, like, you can't just drop Mary Cherry on a person with no warning.
I think that's how it went. I'm pretty good at like stuffing it down and then exploding later. That might be a metaphor for many things in my life.
For anyone who's not familiar, Mary Cherry is the character that Leslie Grossman played on the show Popular, which you should go watch. Incredible.
Yeah. That was like one of Ryan Murphy's first shows, right?
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Annie decides to go to the pool party anyways with Fran.
She's like, I'm going to be gonzo journalist and I'm just going to go report.
Yeah.
She invites Fran. But
she's feeling bashful because I feel like she doesn't come in a bathing suit. She's like wearing her normal street
she was wearing
clothes.
like a 3-piece suit.
She's like wearing her normal street clothes.
Oh yeah, that was a big...
Isn't this the shrooms episode?
That's what I was just, I don't know if you could see the little marbles
the
rolling around.
Wheel in your mind.
Well, you guys were talking about the zoot suit. I was remembering that the Ryan arc is that Fran has gotten some shroom.
I'm so sorry, but shrooms is in episode 5.
Oh,
that's the next one. Yeah,
but
it's the next
okay.
one.
It must.
Bonkers gets high on shrooms.
Yes, at the party.
Yes, but I think what we did was he extended it over. So it's like Fran is on shrooms at the party. At the beginning of episode 5, the shrooms. She drops the remainder of her shroom pills, and Bonkers eats them. Okay, so that's not the Ryan arc in this episode.
Bonkers and Ryan go on a trip. Is what I have in my notes.
That's a good episode.
So just a little teaser for what happens in episode 5. But yes, Fran.
Can we say Fran was on shrooms?
Yeah, Fran was microdosing.
Yeah, I was microdosing while we were out there because my friend Marina, and again, I can't believe how ahead of the curve we were on all this shit. But my friend Marina was like, I'm making shroom microdose capsules. You should take them. And I will take anything. This is, of course, like, before, I love medicine. If you put something in a capsule, I'll fucking take it. And she made up a whole bunch. And I mentioned it in the room. And Craig, one of the writers, was like, obsessed. Lindy, do you remember how he was like asking? And I didn't know. It was just like, oh, my friend gave me these. Like I could Google and tell you what it's supposed to do, but I'm not like an expert. I'm not. Who's the guy? The Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You were just like, a lady gave me these. She said it
more like Hunter S. Thompson, am I
right? She said these capsules have Gerald Levert's poop in them. But tiny doses. Anyway, so
and I had a great time that summer. So either the delusion of LA like just wrapped me in its warmth and like I had a good time, or those shrooms were good.
Probably the second thing.
Did the microdose cure your depression?
No, that's why I'm on 80 milligrams of Prozac right now.
Real medicine.
That's why I'm overdosing on pharmaceuticals. Well, smoke them while you got them.
Also take Wellbutrin.
Because HHS Secretary Brainworms is taking all that shit away. So enjoy it while you can. We'll be back to shrooms in no time.
Secretary Brainworms.
Okay, so they go to the pool party.
Yeah, and Fran reveals that she has eaten like 50 of the microdose pills to induce a macro dose. Which, you know, now that I think about it, it's like we established that and then it doesn't really go anywhere. Not to criticize our own show.
No, it's just like fun.
It's just fun.
Kind of normal. It's like she had an edible. She's not like tripping balls at the
She's just like
pool party.
having a chill time at the party. So they
and
get there
like sexy, getting like smoochy.
Yeah. She's feeling horny. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she spots a hot babe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And wants to get all up in it.
Yeah. So
I believe is the technical term.
That's the technical term.
They walk in. Annie's in her Carney Wilson zoot suit, and Fran is in a beautiful bathing suit with a flowing cover up. And Fran,
Can that be the title of the episode? Can we make a podcast called Carney Wilson Zoot Suit?
Yeah, we can
talk about all the ways we've tried to hide that we're fat using oversized clothing.
Our growing media company needs a spinoff.
Yeah.
So we can pay you $87 a month to host the Carney Wilson suit.
I'd do it for free. It'd be 3 episodes long.
One for each part of the zoot suit. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm derailing us.
No, you're not. This is what it's all about. So she walks in, and then Fran spots what was the character's name? Whatever. Fran falls in love. And then
her real name is Melanie, right?
I know, yes, but why can't I remember the character's name? It doesn't matter. Melanie. Mel. Is the character's name Mel? Do we just name her?
So familiar.
Is it Mel?
Anyway, a lovely gal.
Oh my God.
Such a jeer, sweet angel. Fran abandons Annie and goes to flirt. Annie sort of, and so I just, because this is like the thing that people remember about the episode and that they love, is that she goes to the fat girl pool party. And I always said in interviews, because I do 8 million interviews about this, that like the cool thing is that if you make a TV episode about a giant fat girl pool party, you have to actually throw one, which we did. And it was at this fancy country club outside of Portland, so fancy, where you're like,
it was so nice. Yeah.
It was like kind of really alarming. Nice. It was like Mar-a-Lago, but in, but in whatever.
It was like Mar-a-Lago. Except in Oregon.
It was. And then they had this gorgeous pool, and it was, and we had like 100 extras, I think, like just like every cool fat woman in Portland, and some like people came down from Seattle.
Actual fat, like not just like TV. Yeah, because like I was not involved with production at all. Like as soon as the writer's room was done, I was back in Michigan, doing sitting and staring at the wall or whatever I do. So then I go to Portland for the shooting. That sounds bad. To shoot the episode, to shoot the television episode, and so I didn't know. I was like, when writing it, I was like, oh, I really want this to like look like beautiful Candyland, but I don't understand TV budgets. I didn't know what it was going to look like. And we get there, and the pool, it was so beautiful. It was so colorful. And then I was like, okay, they're going to let me down with the extras, right? Like everybody's going to be like a size 8 or like a top model plus size, which is really like a size 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were like actual fat people there. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the greatest. This is going to be the greatest episode of television.
It was great. Like the big room where all the babes were getting their hair and makeup done. It was just this like sea of incredible, just looking women. And all the bathing suits are really beautiful. I think, I think that the wardrobe people provided all the stuff, and everyone
they were
just
making like custom making things for them to wear, which was amazing.
It was like it was a combo. I think if people showed up looking incredible, then the wardrobe would say like, okay, you can just wear that, but then some people got to like get glam new outfits, and I don't know.
My plan for this episode was to wear the bathing suit I got over my clothes. And I forgot to put it on. But they let me keep it. It's actually very cute. It's a one piece that has like cranes.
It's so cute.
And they let me keep it. It's very beautiful, and I cherish it. So
so I don't know, I haven't, maybe I've been too scared to ask anyone who was an extra what their experience was, but it felt like everyone was having a great time, because it can be kind of grueling to be an extra, but I hope that people had a good time. It was sunny. It was beautiful. Shaka King is the director. He's so thoughtful and great and kind. I can't imagine that people didn't have a good time. Even if it gets boring and exhausting and probably cold eventually. But so then Annie Annie sort of wanders around the party and you see her being like, what? There's something about this that feels, I'm feeling myself. And then, and she has a couple like conversations. I remember this was a hard part of the script, like the conversations that she has with people. Cause like, Allie really wanted to have her have a conversation with someone about whether or not Miss Piggy is a rapist, because that's something, and whether or not.
Oh my God, I forgot. Well, I definitely didn't put that in.
And like in Allie's defense, that's something that I wrote in Shrill the book. Like I was like, I have never like felt a kinship with Miss Piggy. She is scary, and she is just, like
her vibes are wild. Yeah,
I don't want to.
Also, her taste in men. No thanks.
Yeah, like I don't want to be seen. Men. I don't want to be seen as like a sexual pig that chases that chases terrified men around, begging them to love me, and so I wrote something in the book. And
I'm sorry.
And Allie,
I don't want to be seen as a sexual. Sorry, so, I'm losing it.
Allie loved that part in the book and thought it was so funny. And then like at some point she found out that like that fat people sometimes will have like that some fat people really identify with Miss Piggy, and which I get. She's very fabulous and confident. So, but Allie got fixated on this idea of like a Miss Piggy tattoo and she wanted she wanted Annie to like have a debate with someone about whether or not Miss Piggy is a role model worthy of a tattoo. And I think that if we did it now, I would be like, yeah, sure. But at the time I was so cautious about like alienating my audience. And I was like, I have lots of fans who probably do have Miss Piggy as a tattoo, which is fine. I was like, but I remember being like, I don't feel like I need to like make fun of these people in this show that is for their first show that's ever been for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so instead it's sort of like, I just remember the writing of it was really awkward, and like it was not that you did it awkwardly, but that like we were trying to figure out what actually happens when she's walking around the party. And it was one of those times where I think you wrote some really funny dialogue, some little scenes, little vignettes, and then it was one of those times where everything got kind of sucked out of it. So because there's never enough time, and so I think she just like walks around and then she's like, cool skirt. And then this woman's like, thanks, my friend designed it.
Yeah. And she says something like, I could never get cute basics. And it's like, it's just a skirt. But it's like, but everything that's happening at this pool party is so transformative for her. It's really kind of interesting. It's just like a lot of stuff that happens to Annie. It's like she's never left her house before, but also like, but also like it. For the purposes of moving the narrative forward, you kind of have to have her be like an idiot baby a little bit to be like, I don't know how to deal with my body. And like, I'm learning so much, but she is like an alien sometimes. It's like, you can wear skirts. Where do you buy them? The store, dude. What's wrong with you? Which is not to say, I mean, I know like it is often hard to find basics in a range of sizes. I'm not trying to be glib about it, but it's also just like,
yeah.
Are you new here? What happened?
In hindsight, I think, oh, sorry, I'm knocking shit over. Two things. One, in the original script, she was like meeting interesting people. Like, remember there was like a fortune teller that she met,
there was
and then she had a back and forth with a bartender.
There's like a sub. There's a subplot about two witches at the pool party, because two girls I remember got like special makeup and they looked very witchy and so cool. And then like at the last minute, there just wasn't time. I think that like that it was like a game day decision. They were like, we're not going to do the witch stuff. And I was like, well, that's too bad because you guys look amazing.
Yeah, there was some cool stuff that was supposed to happen. But in hindsight, I love Lolly. I think she is amazing. But it would have been more believable, like the where do you get skirts, if her best friend was rail thin, right? Because the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the problems with growing up like sort of fat and out of touch, well, at least growing up when we grew up with no internet, is like everyone is like, oh, just go run into the Gap and get something. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I need to go to the Mrs. MRS section at Filene's basement. I can't get close.
Point of view.
Where you get close.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's always just fully in the women's department.
Yeah.
I don't remember if this made it in to the skirt conversation, but I do remember one thing that was in the script at some point was something that I stole from Meagan, because you said this once and it made me laugh so hard, was that plus size clothes were always patterned like a Parisian suitcase.
Yeah. They all look like a steamer trunk. They're putting you all
like skirt with postage stamps, Joe.
Yes.
Okay.
They were putting you all. They were putting you all in full on steamer trunks. They didn't care. They didn't care about you guys at all.
No.
And they were calling it, and the brands were all called like chunkettes. Like, what the fuck? And you could only get it in that one section of the store,
exclusively on ModCloth.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like they were hoping that the mailman would get confused and actually throw us in the truck and ship us off
to an island.
Yeah. I would love to live on Fat Island. Are you kidding?
Sounds really good.
Me too. Are you? Everybody there's funny. Nobody's judging what you're eating. The best.
So good.
So anyway, so then she wanders around and then she dances to a famous
Ariana
song.
Grande.
Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's this is the part where no, that's songs to bone to. No, I don't remember. No, I don't remember.
Jams to Smash to, a musical experience by Lamar.
I do mean that.
Sam, I wish we'd had you here for the Lamar episode.
Yeah, what was his name gonna be?
You know,
something
like Jeff or something.
Yeah, something so white. And I was like, guys, he has to have a black name. Like, it's enough that these two are British. He can't also be like Cromwell. His name has to be Lamar.
Chesterton.
Oh, Lamar. That dude was so hot. Oh my God.
Yeah, and he was very nice.
Who wasn't Daniel Kaluuya?
No.
I can say that because I'm black.
I don't. Well, this is horrible. I don't remember his name.
Of course you don't. Systemic racism.
I only talked to him one time at craft services, and I was like, I was literally like, beep beep, like, and then I like ran away because he was too handsome. I didn't like explain who I was. I was just like, hello, I'm getting 3 tiny bags of Cheetos. Thank you. Good job. Bye. So anyway,
he's gorgeous. Let's hope
she dances. Supposedly she dances to One Last Time by Ariana Grande, which
that sounds right.
It wasn't a song that I knew. Let's put it that way. I stopped knowing the songs after 1999. But
amen.
Oh, we forgot an important part, which was that at the beginning of the episode, like the cold open was this flashback to Annie as a little kid.
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah.
At being, and this came out of a thing that actually happened. Well, sort of. I went to, in 2016, we did a family trip to Hawaii, and a couple of different times, like just went out to the pool like in the middle of the night and swam by myself. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. There's no one here. No one's like looking at me. And then I was sort of thinking about Annie, then when we were writing this episode, I was like, you know, there's something so freeing about swimming all by yourself in the middle of the night and I was like, wow, that's really sad. That's a really sad thing about my life, that I loved swimming alone in the middle of the night. And then, so there's this thing where this flashback where Annie's on vacation And I was like, in a bigger sense, it's like so sad that fat people are supposed to sort of deny ourselves pleasure, like that you don't get to go just like enjoy the pool in the sunshine. You have to I mean, you don't have to, but there are
it's easier for you.
It's
and
easier.
all to like make other people, but not to be perceived by other people, or like not to make other people feel like you're being
right,
weird or bad.
Or encourage them just with your existence to bully or harass you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So anyway, I was just thinking about...
I think it's really cool.
So I was thinking about all of that. I think I brought some of this stuff up when Allie and Adie and I were first working on the pilot. This was an idea that I had of this flashback of her going swimming by herself at night and kind of skipping the vacation during the day when everyone else is out having fun and saying she just wants to stay in the hotel room and read. And then going out, and you can see how much she loves swimming when she's alone in the middle of the night. So that was like that concept. I think we'd been carrying with us for a while, looking for a place for it. And then also my other thing that I had wanted to do from the very beginning was one of my favorite scenes in cinema is
Scorsese
is at the beginning of the movie The Black Stallion. So this boy and this horse get shipwrecked on an island, and then there's this beautiful scene where there's no dialogue. It's just the boy and the horse like playing in the water, and it's shot like underwater, and you just see like the horse's legs and the boy's little feet, and it's so beautiful. And I was like, I want to do that, but with like fat people underwater, or at least her underwater, like this really kind of striking like visual beautiful shot. And then we did do it. And so those were like my two inspirations for that part of the episode. Is like, so there's young Annie at the beginning, swimming at night, and then she like floats on a donut, and then there's a girl that looks kind of like her that floats on a donut at the pool party, and it's supposed to kind of trigger that memory, I think. Mm-hmm. And then Annie's like, I'm going in the pool, and then she strips her clothes off and she jumps in, or she's wearing a swimsuit. She's not nude. She takes off her zoot suit and she jumps in the pool, and it was inspired by like being reminded of her younger self being free on the donut. and then there's
now it's the daytime.
Yes. And then there's this beautiful underwater shot where she dives in, and then Shaka follows her swimming underwater through everyone's legs. And it was
like a combination of listening to that Ariana Grande song and thinking about herself on that donut, and she was liberated in that brief moment. But it is such a beautiful shot, and her bathing suit is really cute because you can tell she just kind of like encapsulates this very childlike energy. It's like, I'm having fun. I'm wearing a bathing suit in the day. It's
and like, look at all these other people that are free, and we all get to be free because we're just with each other.
The three most important people at that pool party that day was us.
Yeah, that's
true.
We have a wonderful little cameo in the background.
Yeah.
And I didn't, usually stuff like that gets cut out. So I had very low hopes that this would make it into the final episode. But when Adie comes out of the photo booth, the three of us walk in, and you can see our whole asses. Like, we are really just, front and center.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny. And Sam's wearing like a poolside muumuu. And the three of us is kind of like
Terminator sunglasses.
Yeah. And the three of us kind of scoot in to the photo booth. And then
Lindy was wearing a crown.
I was going to say, my favorite little BTS fact about this episode is Lindy got glammed to the heavens for this. She was wearing this beautiful, like, sparkly two-piece. You had like a flowing, silky.
They made me a flowing, silky cover-up, which I still have.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. And like a bespoke flower crown. Your hair was like blown out. Your makeup looks so pretty. And like these big, like, I want to say like glittery heels.
Oh, yeah, they were insane. Like, I could barely walk in them.
Yeah. And then the original idea was that the pool had this little like catwalk type of thing, and you were gonna like walk down it, and they were gonna pan up from you and like over to these other people, and then Shaka was like, we're gonna do something different because you are too distracting.
Right. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think about it all the time where he was like, this whole thing is like so beautiful that like it is confusing in the episode. like your appearance is too distracting for it to work in this particular like scene setup.
you're like Chekhov's top model. And if we
people are going to wonder,
people are going to expect you to talk later and you or kill someone
or murder someone. We're not sure, but this isn't going to work. So then the three of us got bumped to photo booth attendees 1, 2, and 3, which was perfect.
I remember I had forgotten about that, Megan, but now that you say that, I remember being like, I can't, there's no fucking way I can walk on this skinny catwalk in these heels. I'm gonna fall.
Was it the thing the witches were sitting on?
Yes,
I think so. Yes, because I think the original idea was, so they cut it for 2 reasons. One is because they didn't end up using that witch scene at all, and the other was because, according to Shaka, you were too beautiful for this to work in this exact way.
He's right.
But like originally they were going to like pan over you and then pan down to this conversation that Annie was going to be having with the witches. So
wow,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was like walking the plank. It was like this narrow concrete strip that separated, I think, the hot tub from the pool. I also think, I feel like maybe Megan, like Sam did not want to do this, and Megan and I bullied you into it.
Yeah, that's correct. I remember Allie was laughing her ass off. She was like, "Look at Sammy!
It's because you were literally, I mean, you could go watch it in the episode. You were like this.
I hate it so much. I never want to be on camera. No, I'm glad. No, it's history, and I'm glad I did it. And I did not mean to look fucked up. In my defense, we did a few takes.
We did. We really had to nail that entrance into the photo booth. We had to get it right.
Maybe there was one where I was smiling and they just happened to use the one where I look like I smelled shit. But I feel bad for
actually, I think, no, you know what? I think
our 1 minute cameo.
First of all, you didn't ruin it. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's really good.
Second of all, I think actually what we did was multiple rehearsals, but it was actually stressful because we only got to do one take because it is contiguous. It goes like straight into it's one shot. It's like we walk by,
right? And that's going when, in and they're coming out.
Well, and then Annie's like, I got to get in that pool, and like we walk by, then she's stripping off her clothes and jumping immediately into the pool, and so we could only do it once because then her hair's wet, and they would have had to like reset her whole thing. So I think I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened, but I don't know.
No, that sounds right. So I biffed it. Sorry.
No, you enhanced everything about my life.
The greatest scene in television history.
Yeah.
And what happened to those three girls? We should get a spin-off show, a true crime spin-off, because I think that they got murdered by the Portland slasher. And Annie was so busy on her journey of self-discovery, she couldn't be bothered to report out the crime of the century happening at Portland's Mar-a-Lago. Something to think about.
Boss, I figured some stuff out about myself, and he's like, everybody else in the office is working on catching a serial killer.
Thanks, dickhead.
Go discover yourself somewhere else.
Wow, that sure was good, Megs.
Oh boy, boyfriend. Well, we hope you enjoyed that abridged episode of our Shrill rewatch, episode 4, season 1 of Shrill. It's the pool party episode with our homie and our beloved third best friend. If you want to hear the rest of it, we get into more. We talk about our favorite things that happened in the episode and behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. One of us might have gotten into a fight with one of the lead actors. We don't know who it was or what was said or how embarrassed we continue to be about it. Who could say who did that?
Who could say who amongst us is the most litigious and feisty?
Who could say? Lindy shares a really sweet story about the child actor who played baby Annie / baby Lindy.
I'm going to tell you a behind the scenes secret about a very special chair that I got to sit in on the set. And also we have just so much hot gossip about Advil Lady Crepe Truck, Brazilian cheese balls, and floor mates colon manifest.
I just want to share our beautiful, my angel on earth producer Allie sent us a list of things that she cut out of the episode so we could entice you to listen to the rest of it. And Lindy's so sick, she's just reading them. She's not even attempting a riff. That's how you know this woman is.
I can't.
2 toes in the grave, folks.
Megs, I am padlocked to hell.
Oh boy, she's done so. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to listen to the rest, go to patreon.com/textmebackpod. Send us your ideas for the $12 tier. Again, this is a very exciting tier because secret, private, VIP, RSS feed, and we need a name. Should it be Padlock the Toes? Padlocked Toes? Should it be that? Should it be Vampire Boys? We don't know. You tell us and we'll figure it out. Thanks for listening.
Advil.
Sorry, Lindy died.
It should be Advil Lady.
Should it be? No, it should be Advil Lady Crepe Truck, Brazilian cheese balls, floor baits, colon, manifest.
If you want to find out what that means, you gotta subscribe to the Patreon.
Oh God. Oh, we're turning off the recording now.
Help
Thank
me.
you so much. Patreon.com/textmebackpod. And I'm about to give out Lindy's address so someone can send us some Dayquil because this is not good.
I drove to the gas station, the closest store, and I did only buy NyQuil. I should have bought some Dayquil.
Oh, there she goes. Timber.
Maha. Vaccines contain scorpion DNA. They're turning your children into scorpions. The people at least have a right to know whether the scorpions are in their children.
I should be allowed to do my own research about scorpion DNA and the vaccines before I send my child to quote unquote public school.
That's right. You know, I've been watching a lot of Doctor Who during this illness. And every episode of Doctor Who is like sort of actually like a Maha plot. Like it's always like, what happened was that your child is actually a scorpion and the scorpion has been in there the whole time. And the reason that you think you have a cold, but what actually is happening is that the scorpion is having babies inside your heart. So that's kind of where I feel like something's going to hatch out of me any second, you know, but at least the doctor will be here. He's not a real doctor. He's
an alien.
He's an alien time traveler, but
is Doctor Who an alien?
Yes, Megan. He's a time lord. He's the last of the time lords.
Well, what is that?
It means he's from the planet Gallifrey, and he's an ancient.
Oh, he's from outer space.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he travels through time and space in his TARDIS, and he solves problems.
Oh boy, got to put on my goggles real quick. Got to put on my dissociation glasses. We're going to continue this conversation.
Here's what I love about Doctor Who. Every episode of Doctor Who is like one of the episodes of Star Trek Next Generation where Q turns everyone into characters from Robin Hood. You know what I mean? Every episode of Doctor Who is like one of the wacky episodes of Star Trek.
Oh God.
I am munching it.
We got a lot. I'm turning this off. This has gone on too long. We'll see you all next week with a proper episode. I don't know what's going to happen.
Who can say?
Find out with me next week. On Text Me Back Podcast. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Meagan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF network. Our senior producer is Megan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by Co-Pilot Collective and produced by Allie Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Megan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Brandy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!